Welcome to the CASA 4x4. This 4x4 is driven by Grahame Dixie, Executive Director of Grow Asia. The 4x4s are 4 expert viewpoints with 4 minutes to share their views. What skills are required to facilitate investment?
Sustainable Development Goal 17, which essentially says unless we do bring disparate parties together and coordinate them in some sort of loose cooperation, we have no hope of making the kind of changes that the world needs at the scale and in the time available. We do find that in terms of donor support and support from the private sector, they're much keener to invest in individual projects, whether that's responsible investing, whether that's the digital program, whether it's the gender, etc. But the glue that sticks it together is an enduring problem to get funded for that, particularly in today's environment with COVID. Then if you get into the detail of it, the study that was carried out of the different working groups to learn what were the positive deviants came out with multiple kind of lessons, and some of them, a lot of them are practical. You often find that in a successful organization or a working group is that you have a two-person team. You need somebody that's charismatic, that can bring people in, is a leader, can get excitement to go on, and you need a clockwork person who books the room, who writes the minutes, and actually when you get those two people to work together, then it creates a professionalism and it creates a balance. So you don't want everything which is hair and scarum and lots of new ideas but no practicality, but you do need to make things work well, and people like to sense that they're part of an organized piece. We found that it was a disadvantage to have one leader because they keep changing. And once they change, you get a hiatus and nothing happens. So we've been encouraging groups to form a joint leadership. They often had difficulty actually coming together about what they would agree on and setting out what the roles and responsibilities actually were. And sometimes they need some support from an external consultant who articulates for them the disparate pieces into something which is a business case for all of them. Nestle wanted an extra 10,000 tons of coffee coming out of Indonesia. The farmer organizations wanted the profitability of their farmers to be increased. And so those two different ideas came together as how do we increase productivity? And we put together an extraordinary number of partners. I mean, in that case, 17 different partners were working together. But it was interesting to see how a development agency would probably try and put all 17 people in the room at the same time and waste everybody's time. They broke them down into discrete units. The 2 or 3 organizations which were interested about productivity, the ones that were interested in certification, the ones on microfinance and digital finance, etc., and coordinated their supplies. So there is a way of getting lots of people to work together, but you need to be quite smart about it, and they need to basically come together and agree that this is what they needed. If you look at development projects, you will find that probably 60% of the factors that you control in a development project are determined by the quality of the management. And therefore, when you've got skilled managers that have the emotional IQ to be able to bring together a discussion between 3 or 4 different sectors that hitherto have not met before, it takes a pretty special person to do that, but we're learning how to do it better.
Visit the event page of the CASA website to see recordings of other expert viewpoints shared in the CASA 4x4s and webinar series.